Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to a Division 2 video. We are back on the PTS testing out everything that will be new for next season, the Mutiny. And today we're gonna showcase the new gear set Concentrated Company. Concentrated Company will give us some extra weapon damage while we work with our ally and our skill. So what will Concentrated Company give us, and of course, most importantly, what will that 4-piece be? For the 2-piece we're gaining 10% weapon damage, the 3-piece will give us 30% weapon handling, and the 4-piece will activate Camaraderie. Shooting an enemy marks them for 7 seconds. When a marked enemy dies, receive 1 stack of 3% weapon damage for each ally or skill that has contributed to killing that enemy. Max stacks is 35, stacks decay over 10 seconds, and the maximum amount of marks that can be placed is 3. So this gear set is a combination between your ally and or your skill and you. You apply the mark, your ally and your skill will do some damage to that enemy. If you then take out that enemy or your skill or your ally takes out that enemy, you will get a stack. And because the max stack is 35, we can gain 105% extra weapon damage at max stacks if we keep it this way, because of course we have a backpack and a chest talent. If we go over to the backpack, we scroll down, you see that it's the talent One for All. Increases the weapon damage bonus per stack from 3 to 5%. So now we have a 35 stacks of 5% that will give us an extra 175% weapon damage. And if we now jump over to our chest piece, we will have the talent All for One, increase the amount of marks that can be placed from 3 to 5. So you will have more marks on the field, you'll have more chances that your skills and or your companion, your ally, will take somebody out or will apply the damage upon them, and you can get those stacks. And this is kind of the combination that I went for. I went for the Pestilence in combination with just the 4 pieces of the new gear set. Backpack talent, so we make sure that we get to that 175% extra weapon damage at max stacks. We went then, of course, for the new chest piece from Unit Alloys, the Eagleizer, coming through with that perfect obliterate. We went for the Coyote Mask, and then to make sure that we take out everyone that we put a tag on, I thought, let's go for the Pestilence. In this combination, I have me shooting people, the Pestilence stick taking out people, the drone taking out people, and then of course our ally taking out people. Or at least all of those 3 next to me shooting will apply a certain damage, and that should kick in our gear set. We tested it out a bunch live on stream, and within the normal missions, you almost never get to those max stacks. And then in that way you will always have a lower damage output on your gun, and it already takes a little bit longer because you want to work with your skills and you want to work with your companion. So I thought, let me test it out on Roosevelt Island. A little bit bigger mission, a little bit more enemies at the end to see where we get the max stacks and if it's even worth it. I ran through it, and the last 2 areas, after 10 minutes to 12 minutes of gameplay, we hit our max stacks. And where the strange thing was, is that our weapon damage wasn't really that high, not even hitting 1,000,000 on a body crit shot, but the ticks of the Pestilence were decent, around that 1.4 million. But to get the tick for the Pestilence, for example, this wasn't always 1.4. 1.4 was the highest that we seen. So it already takes a decent amount of time to stack all of this up, because you kind of want to work with your skill and your companion at the same time, spraying over the enemies so you have those 3 marks. Your skill and your companion or your ally can shoot at those enemies. When they take them out or you take them out while the mark is still applied, we will gain a stack. and you would think it's only 35. Of course, you have that stack decay, and then at the end, when we are at max stacks, the damage that we receive doesn't seem to be as much. I only had one enemy completely at the end that I just hit out of nowhere for 1.5 million. All of the rest was lower, 500Ks, 600Ks, 700Ks. And of course, we don't always have to go into the max damage outputs. The newer brand sets or the newer gear sets don't have to always perform with the meta or outbeat Striker or whatever gear set or brand set you want to compare it against. But if we have to work together with our skills and our companion to get these stacks, we should then receive more damage. And that 175% extra weapon damage kinda sounds like a lot. So don't forget, we are still on the PTS, so maybe there is something that isn't really going right. Because on paper it sounds great. At the end of the day, while testing, throughout normal missions, throughout the open world, and now throughout Roosevelt as well, it isn't giving you the power quick enough, or it is too low on damage overall, and in that way you're gonna get in trouble. That's the case, right? Like now we're shooting for 400-500k crits. But if we, for example, go into a normal Pestilence build, and again, just with Obliterate, we're not talking about a glass cannon, we're not changing anything around. It's just a normal high-end Pestilence build. We're already starting at that 700 or 800 crit shots. After 5 kills, we're already hitting that 1.2, 1.3 million with our Pestilence. And now we are just throughout the mission doing 400-500k. So you're kind of nerfing yourself quite a lot. Again, I'm not asking that everything needs to be as powerful, but it needs to be powerful if we have to work with our companion and our skill this much. Because it's gonna take a little bit longer time to then make sure that your skill and your companion have shot that enemy, or at least made sure that they were in that fight. Again, this is the PTS, there are things subject to change. It reads like 175% extra weapon damage, it doesn't feel that way. But again, who am I? No IT specialist, no developer. It reads and tests on the shooting range pretty well, but within game it kinda falls apart. Of course, that is my opinion about this. Let me know in the comments down below if you played with this on the PTS already, or what is your overall opinion now looking at this gameplay and me showcasing this new gear set. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion, and that's it from me today. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. Like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here and or you want to be updated by the Division 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. Pure Prime out.